Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Danny and this is Project Fern. It's that time of year again and it's time to show the Berlingo some love. We've got a service to do today, we've got an inspection, we're going to be turning the service light off, and we've also got a clicky door which I believe is a check strap. I've started using chapters down in the link, in the description below, which will timestamp the different bits of this video, like dropping the oil, putting the air filter in and stuff. This car was last serviced at 126,000 miles in 2021. It's now done 139,300. So I've gone over a little bit. I'm not too fussed. Like I say, this car's got full service history. You people know how well this car's looked after. So let's get over to the parts bench now and have a look what I'm putting in. Most important thing for this car is the oil, or the blood as I call it. I've gone for some Fuchs Titan Super Sim 5W40s. I used this last year and it's been absolutely amazing. Always try and get the best oil you can for the budget that you've got on these cars. Normal conditions, the oil's changed every 12,500 miles or 12 months. But if you're absolutely smashing it, it should be every 10,000 miles, which is what I should do really, every 10,000 miles. But it creeps over sometimes. I don't always have time to do it, but I'm just glad that it's getting done. Next item on the list is the oil filter. When you tighten these back up, it's 25 Newton meters. Again, same as the oil, 12,500 mile or 12 month, or if you're absolutely smashing it doing them motorway miles, you should be changing it every 10,000 miles or 12 months. Going to be changing out the oil filter again, even though I changed that out in the last service. Normal conditions, these need changing out every 37,500 miles, or severe cases 37,000 miles. It'd be good to see how bad the air filter looks compared to the new one after 12,500, 13,000 miles of using it, but that's what's going in today. If you watch my petrol service, you notice there were two types of sump plugs. I found out that there's actually three now. If your car's got air conditioning, the petrol one, you'll have a different sump plug. Not a clue why that is. I don't know if it's got a different sump plug on it to allow pipes to access or for the compressor to be mounted, but we've got a brand new sump plug to go in today. They don't tell you how tight these need to be, it just says tighten up accordingly. The car's now done 139,000 miles. Timing belt was done at 70,000 miles, I think. In the owner's manual, it actually says the timing belt should be done every 150,000 miles or 10 years. So I don't know whether they corrected that in the time after producing that booklet, but 150,000 miles on a timing belt is absolutely ridiculous. So I'll probably be getting this changed out in the next 20,000 miles or so, just for peace of mind, for what it costs. I don't know if I'm going to attempt to do it myself on this one. I'm going to have a go on the petrol one, but with this being my daily driver and stuff, I'd just rather pay someone to do something like that because I need this car to stay on the road. So first job on the list today is to do all the tyre pressures, inspect the tyres, check the lights on the car. I'm not going to bore you by showing you me doing the tyres again and stuff like that, but I'm just going to quickly check the lights and see if any are out. So as you've just seen in a quick light check there, we've got a driver's side light bulb out, and we've also got a near side brake light bulb out. They are a twin filament on these, so that means that the side light on the rear is also the brake light. Fingers crossed I've got some bulbs here. I'm going to switch them out now and then move on to the next part of the service. I've done all the levels on the car. Obviously I've checked the lights and we know we've got this driver's side light bulb to do. Now, you can get your fingers in, it's really fiddly, but what I'm going to do today is I'm going to actually do it properly. You put your hand down the back of here and this literally slices your wrist. It's horrible, quite nasty cuts on your wrist. It's really sharp. I usually put something over there or really tuck my jumper into the glove when I do it. But I'm going to try and take this headlamp out today and do it properly, see how easy it is. I've never took the headlamp out on one of these. So I'm going to start by just removing this grill, which I know is these 4 screws along the top. They're a Torx 25 and there's 2 securing lugs on each side of the grill, and then I'll pop it off and see if we can access the bolts a little better for this headlight. So I've started to strip it down. We've got a bolt down here and a bolt up at the top. They were both Torx 30s. I've managed to pull this up a little bit. Please be really careful with these top mounts because they do get brittle over time and they do snap. So there's another bolt that's underneath the front bumper and you have to take the front bumper off to get it off. So I'm not doing that. So I've managed to pull the headlight out a little bit. I've then removed the wiring for the headlight bulb. I've removed the bulb as well, and I've managed to get the side light bulb out with like 2 fingers. It's really tricky on this side. You have got more space on the other side. Sorry, you've probably got less space on the other side. I don't remember ever having to change one of these. But yeah, you get the bulb out with 2 fingers. Fingers crossed now. I can get it back in after changing the bulb. It's a capless T5, I think they're called. So I'm going to put that in now, and hopefully the headlight and the side light now work. We've got 2 working side lights now. I know only one was out. I've checked the headlight as well to make sure that's reconnected properly. It's these little jobs sometimes that take longer than the bloody service, but they have to be done. You don't want to be getting pulled off the police. So I'm going to move on now and do the backlight, which thank God are an absolute joy. So onto the tail light now. Unfortunately, I've just noticed this one's cracked, so I'm going to have to get a new one. I don't know if the water getting into that bottom bit has caused the bulb to corrode. We'll have to have a look at that. But you just need to literally unscrew this anti-clockwise. It's always worth keeping a pair of old pliers in the car because they can be quite tight. So I'm just going to slacken that off slightly and then get the rest of it with my fingers, and then we can go from there. Once you get the unit off the back, you've got 2 sets of clips here at the top. Just pull them in towards each other and it'll just pop that off and it'll show you lights. So as I suspected, you can see there's a lot of corrosion down there. I'm going to have to give it a scrape off, order a new lens, but I'm going to put a new bulb in for today and just make do with that until I can get a new lens for it. I don't know if you can see there, but I've literally scraped all the surface rust off them contacts. There's nothing wrong with them, the rust has come off really easy, so it's just a case of getting a new lens or putting a bit of sellotape over that one if you want to, but you know me, I'll be getting a new one. I'm going to pop this bulb in now and see if it works. Jobs are good in there. Let's get the cluster put back on and it bolted back in place. Now all the little jobs are done, let's get the oil filler cap taken out, the dipstick removed a little bit, get the car jacked up and finally get the oil dropped. While the oil is draining, I'm going to crack off the filter housing. It's a 27mm socket. I like putting a little extension on the end. It does say on top of the filter housing as well, 25 Newton meters. I did say it earlier, but I'm just saying it again just in case anyone missed it. Crack that off now and it should let a bit more air through and hopefully you'll hear some more oil coming out. So we've got the old oil filter here. There is a securing lug that goes towards the top, which needs to go in the right place inside the actual filter housing. Got this O-ring to take on. I'm going to use my trusty pick as always to just quickly whip that off. They are flat, these ones, they ain't round, so make sure that they're not twisted when you put the new one on. But I'm going to whip this off now, put the new one in, put the new O-ring on, grease it up and get ready to put it back in. It's hard for the camera to pick up there, but literally this bit that sticks out needs to go into that hole there when you tighten it up. So I'm going to put the filter in now. The sump plug, brand new one's been put in, so I can just clean up a little bit where the oil's dripped from the filter, and then I can get this carb put back down on the floor. Going to get the torque wrench now and torque that up to 25 Newton meters. So that's the car back down on the ground now. I'm going to put the engine oil in and run it up, and then I'm going to move on to the air filter. It's 3.75 litres of oil in this car, so I'm going to about 3.5 litres in, run it up and see how we get on from there. While that settles for a minute, I'm going to do the air filter. I'm going to undo this Jubilee clip here, and I've got a multi-plug here, and then this whole unit at the back, which you can see is a bit loose anyway, as one of the clips got snapped when it had been serviced previously, not by me. So I'm going to do that now and get this air filter out, and then we can get it switched over. Easy enough to do. That's the air filter housing out. Like I say, some of these clips I think are broken down the back where these slot in, which is a shame. I think it's that one there. You can see it snapped off. I'm going to add it to the list anyway, and hopefully one day I can get hold of a second-hand one and make this one right again, because it does rattle a bit. I've never really heard it rattling too much where it's annoying when it's being driven. We've just got some torque bolts now along this front edge, which I'm going to undo, and then we'll get the old filter out. You can obviously see which is the old air filter. This is off about 13,000 miles. Quite a bit of crushed leaves in there as well. Like you can see, I'm going to blow all that out. I'm going to put the new filter in now, get this built back up and get it put back in the car. That's the service complete. I've only used 4 pairs of gloves, which is an absolute world record. I'm going to quickly just reset the service light now, and then we can get this video ended. So to reset the service light, we're just going to put the keys in the ignition. We're going to hold down this button here. We're going to turn the ignition on to position 2. That's the one before you start it. You can see that the clock is counting down now. 4 seconds. And it's done. So if we turn the engine off now, the service light's gone off. And when we start it back up, we're back to 12,500 miles before it needs a service. Another good job done on the Berlingo. Hopefully I can have another 12,500 miles out of it. It just keeps going, this car. Like I say, I swear by them. Give it a bit of a wipe down on top, a bit of psychological servicing. But the next job that's going to be happening on this car is the fuel filter, which is just tucked down there. You are supposed to bleed them of water every 12 or 13,000 miles. I can't remember exactly what it is, but we can get into that into the next video. But yeah, job done there. Absolutely loving it. I hope you've enjoyed the video today of servicing the 1.6 HDI Berlingo. Not too much to do on these. It's just been an oil filter. I check all the brakes and stuff like that off camera. Obviously I did them all when I did the axle last year. Sorted any knocking noises out as and when they happen. So when it comes to service time, for me it is literally usually just a filter change, an oil drop, because anything that comes up over the year of driving I change straight away anyway. So that ends the video for today. Hope you've really enjoyed it. Hope it's not been too long again. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, any comments put in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.